Hey, this is Chad with Drawn and Cornered. We are officially on election eve. It's the day before the election, and there has been a ton of stuff that's happened since last week. We've had rallies with Trump, we've had rallies with Biden, we've had a Trump caravan surround the Biden bus, and apparently one of the vehicles hit one of the Biden staffers' car. It's total anarchy out there. We've got businesses boarding up windows, we've got National Guard being called, police are on reserve. This could go any way at this point, and the polls would say that Biden's got a strong lead. I think he's still up 10 points nationally. It's a little bit tighter in the swing states, but there is so much concern about what is called the shy Trump voter out there, the folks that just never tell any pollers, that never tell any of their friends that they're voting for Trump because they don't want the backlash, they don't want to be perceived as an idiot or a chump. And so they're just not saying anything. And it makes it really hard to handicap a race like this when you can't get honest answers from people about whether or not they're voting for a particular candidate. Couple that with the fact that there's so much emotion surrounding this, but often emotion doesn't lead a drive to the polls. So the youth vote routinely is always very emotional, is always very loud, is always very engaged when it comes to the policy issues and the certain candidate that they're interested in, but it never really comes into actually showing up at the polls. Other than in 2008 with Barack Obama, youth just doesn't generally get there. So any sort of excitement you see from that sector is always sort of tamped down or just tempered a little bit because they don't generally show up on election day. Now with mail-in voting and early voting, maybe they had a chance to do a little bit more, so maybe that's going to be a factor. They say that this year we're looking towards a record-setting voter turnout this year, and there's more people that have switched affiliations and have registered for the first time. This could be just unprecedented amount of voting, and all of it's going to be taking place tomorrow. Now, the big question becomes, will we know tomorrow how things happen? And if there's a landslide one way or the other, maybe. If there's a landslide for Trump, there's still the notion that there could be enough mail-in ballots to offset any lead that he may have at that point. Biden wins in a landslide, it seems to be that the notion is that there isn't enough conservative balloting early that would offset that change. So an early landslide for Biden could be the end of this race. An early landslide for Trump, that could lead to some contention in there. And anything in the middle, anything that is close or couldn't necessarily be called, is going to be weeks before we find out, because the lawyers are going to be sent in. There's going to be a ton of conjecture back and forth, both in the public forums and obviously offline between the two candidates. It's going to be just a melee out there. But the good thing, and the thing that we all need to remember, is that no matter who gets elected, all of us are going to wake up on that Wednesday and we'll be fine. Nothing's going to change in this country. It's not going to be something you need to scream at the sky about or cry to your kids or anything along those lines. We will get through this. We will get through another 4 years of Donald Trump. We will get through 8 years of Joe Biden, or 2 years of Joe Biden and 2 years of Kamala Harris. There is nothing that a single person, a single presidency, or even a single party can do to destroy what is America as we know it. That is up to us to preserve, and we are in a great position right now to join together as a people, regardless of what the parties do, and say, Americans are Americans, and we are going to take care of each other, no matter what happens with the divisive nature of social media, of the news, of the campaigns themselves. We can rise above it if we make the choice to do so, and all of that will happen on Wednesday, even if we don't have a candidate. Thanks a lot for joining me here at Drawn and Cornered. I will have election coverage tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a little bit better idea about how tight the race is, and then on Wednesday, my hope is that we'll actually have a candidate. The presidential election is like my Super Bowl and the Olympics all wrapped up into one. So the fact that I may go to sleep on Tuesday night and not know who the next president is a little bit disheartening. But the fact that it's going to continue going on, and this will be a subject matter we talk about for a week or 2 weeks afterwards, is rather exciting for me. So tune in to Drawn and Quartered. Stick with us. We will continue to have updated coverage as much as we can, along with the analysis and opinion that we offer here as well. If you have any questions for me, drawnandcornered@gmail. You can leave a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Definitely subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to YouTube, and we'll get our next episodes out to you shortly. Thanks a lot.